Welcome to Beyond the Sign. I'm your host, Landon Ball, and I'm joined by my co host, Martin Sears. Today, we're diving into a space that a lot of people think they understand, but usually don't until they're forced to learn it fast, and that's senior living. We're joined by two leaders from Sierra Winds, a life plan community here in the West Valley that's redefining what independent senior living actually looks like. Sierra Winds offers an active, maintenance free lifestyle with a continuum of care, meaning residents can enjoy their independence while having confidence and support built in for whatever the future brings. Joining us is Jenna Meyer, Executive Director at Sierra Winds. Jenna leads with a strong focus on culture, service, and operational excellence, ensuring the residents' experience is not just well run, but genuinely meaningful. We're also joined by Scully, sales counselor at Sierra Winds, who works directly with seniors and their families every day, helping them navigate decisions around independent living with clarity, confidence, and zero pressure. Today's conversation is about breaking down misconceptions, understanding what a life plan community really offers, and why planning ahead can completely change the experience for both seniors and their families. With that, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you found Sierra Winds, and maybe just brief our listeners on what Sierra Winds and what Sierra Winds offers.
Yes, I'll start. So I have been working in the senior living industry for about 20 years now and worked in several different communities that offer all different types of amenities. And Sierra Winds is just one of the best ones that I've worked at. It immediately grabbed my heart the first time that I walked through that door. So we are located right off of the 101 and Bell. So fantastic location for the West Valley. We've been open since 1989. And we service our residents, independent living, skilled nursing, and then coming soon, we're opening up assisted living, which is super excited for us. We also are a nonprofit. We have a foundation board that helps assist the community with supporting residents to ensure that they can continue to remain at home as long as they need. So I think that's something that's really specific to us, and it just supports that home environment and the culture that we have going.
I come from the real estate background. So I started here about 6 months ago. And it was I think I've always known for a number of years I was going to do this. When I met Jenna, I explained to her between working real estate and understanding the transition how families go through in just buying or selling a home, that I can bring that to working here. But also, I sat on the other side of the table about 10 years ago when my mom moved into independent living back in Washington about 2016. So I understood just watching my mom go through that transition and what that meant. And also just from my perspective as a child of a parent moving into an independent living, that she was able to be surrounded by people that were in her same season of life and able to fill in the gaps that I wasn't able to fill in. And so that was a really purposeful reason for me coming to work and do this. And every day I don't even feel like I come to work. I feel like I come to my second home. It's really our community as well.
So, Kimberly, being as though you have that perspective and you've been on both sides of the aisle, what are families looking at independent living? What questions are they asking and what should they be asking?
Yeah, it's interesting. Coming into this, it's a lot of individual people or couples will come. Their families don't always come with them the first time. They'll usually come, and we have events that invite people to come and take a look. A lot of the concerns that they have are am I moving too soon? Am I going to lose my independence? Those are really big. Is it going to be stressful? Because people have lived in their homes and they've accumulated things for all these years. So these are legitimate questions that people will have. And really, the answer of it too is we're not here to replace your home. We're here to give you guys something to give you more meaning to maintenance free life.
Yeah, the thought of moving in general, whether you're moving to another home or you're moving to a community, it can be very overwhelming. And so, what we want to do is come alongside them and really help them answer questions, really help them understand that having community around them can really enhance their lives. And, One thing that's specifically really important to me that's part of Sierra Winds, the vision of Sierra Winds, is creating joyful experiences. We want every person that walks through that door to be met with a joyful smile, a joyful experience, and a joyful connection. And that's really what they might be lacking when they're living by themselves at home.
And we understand too, to kind of piggyback on that, we understand that's emotional. It's an emotional move, but your home is more than your walls. It's your memories that you carry with you. So at Sierra Winds, we want them to create new memories, that we want them to, like Jenna said, have a warm and welcoming community where they can continue to thrive, continue to make new memories.
So I think it's clear the biggest misconception with independent living is that maybe they're moving too fast and they're moving into that in what they see as the last phase of their life too soon. So what kind of amenities and offerings does Sierra Winds offer them to, keep that independence so that they are enjoying that time and that they don't have the liabilities and the responsibilities that maybe they have in their own home?
Landon, when you talked about the misconception, a lot of times people imagine, a lot of times they call a facility. And I always correct people, I'm like, no, we're not a facility, we're a community. I always correct people with that because you get that picture in your mind. They immediately picture going into assisted living. And Jen can talk more about the assisted living, but independent living is different than assisted living. It is you're living independently. You have your own apartment. You come, you go as you please, and you're able to take care of yourself. But you're also not isolated. You're not alone. So we really want to value our residents that they're living independently, but they are not alone if and when something happens or that next phase. I think your question was about our amenities. And we have a lot of amenities. They get a brand new apartment. Everything is updated. It is absolutely beautiful. I am super proud of how amazing our apartments are. We have studios. We have 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. We have courtyards. We have their amenities. Everything is paid for. We have restaurants and the schedule. It is. I know when I first started here, one of the residents, I heard her overtell somebody else. She said, "Oh, if you're ever bored here, that's your own fault."
So with that, with the amenities, there are weekly clubs and things like that for them to attend.
Yes, we have a very activated activity program, I would call it. Also, it includes several resident committees. I mean, what we all remember is this is their home. So they should have a say and be able to go in and mention, hey, can we get an update in this area? Or, have a voice in their home. And that's what the committees do. Some of the residents around here, they say it's more like it's a town and the resident committees are, like the town hall. And so they really love being part of it and they really take pride here in their home. And we take pride in being able to serve them in their home.
One of the advantages as being a newer person that I've had of working here is when everybody wanted to meet me when I started and they all came up and they told me their stories of how they moved here. And after about 2 weeks, I went home and I told my husband, I'm like, everybody comes up and I hear the same thing from the residents over and over. They all talk about how much they love living here. And they say, when you meet new people, tell them not to wait. Tell them to come so they can enjoy the amenities. Tell them to come. Don't wait until they think that, oh, they are in a position where they can't do anything, that you want them to come and enjoy the amenities. And one of the phrases I've heard often is it's like a cruise ship on land. And I understand that, you can come and go as you want, but there's so much to do, but you can go into your own private home, your own apartment and do your own thing. And one of my favorite stories to tell is when I first started, one of the couples I met, she and her husband, I said, it really is like a cruise ship on land. And she said, that's what I thought at first. I'm like, well, what do you think of it now? And she's like, I think of it like Mayberry and we're here for each other. And at that point, I think I did have a drop the mic moment where I'm like, wow, that spoke volumes to me.
And I think that we've covered what tends to delay people, right? And what makes them wait. But what do you tell those people? Are they able to connect with maybe the residents themselves and talk to them and ask them about their journey and experience? Or what is it that you guys are telling them when they are like, well, maybe I want to wait a couple years?
So our residents are our best advocate and selling tool, and they love living here so much that asking them to be part of the process is easy. So if we say, "Hey, we have a prospect, could you have lunch with them?" They all are very open to that, and they have been doing that. One of the committees that we have is a resident welcome committee and ambassador committee, which when we have marketing events or functions, those residents are right in the lobby welcoming people and being part of the process with them. So I think it's amazing that they love living here so much that they are asking to be part of that process. What also helps is really spending time talking with the prospect. Like, yes, they say they're a couple years out, but what is that exactly? What Try to drill down exactly to what is preventing them to make that decision. And sometimes it can just be the stuff at the thought of trying to organize and all that stuff is just so overwhelming. Or they may not have a lot of family help to move from one place to another. So really just getting to know that, getting to know what their fears are, and then trying to work alongside them, know that we will help you with all of these. It will be seamless transition.
And some of the questions, Landon, too, that you asked, I kind of asked them questions back because I can make the points all day long, but I ask them questions so they kind of have that self-realization as well. So some of my questions I might ask them are, what would make you, waiting a few years, what would that feel like? What do you feel like needs to be in place for you to make that move? What do you gain by waiting? What
Right.
is there to gain? And what does your lifestyle look like from a few years from now? So some of these questions I can't answer for them. They have to answer for themselves. And then I ask them, if you wait, does that make the move easier or will it make it harder?
That's a good
And if you
question. It's a really good question.
and so I think just, when you ask people questions, because they have to come up with their own answers. And I know here that they're not giving something up, that they are moving and they're gaining a different type of freedom. The maintenance free live, we have housekeeping. They're no longer doing their yard work. We do have a gardening club if you want to join the gardening club, but it's not the same as an obligation to go do your yard work. There's a little difference.
And that's what I think is so beneficial about it is it's very similar amenities and everything that they have. Typically, these residents are probably coming from the 55 and older communities throughout the valley here in Sun City, Pebble Creek, Cantamia, Victory, you name it, and they have those amenities, right? They don't want to leave that, but they can have that and not have all the maintenance, the roof repair, the AC replacement. So that's what I'm really getting out of that as a huge benefit to them. So I want to ask both of you, from talking with the residents, what do residents tell you they wish they had known before making the move into independent living?
That's a good question. So before they get here, they say, "I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready." And then after they get here, they say, "I should have done it sooner." That's like the most common thing we hear. "I should have done this 5 years ago. I should have done this 10 years ago. Why didn't I do that?" And so I think for us really trying to think outside the box and show that value to those people so that they're making that decision, sooner and not waiting.
I wish I came sooner, right? And got rid of all the responsibilities and the stress that was just kind of weighing me down. And I want to piggyback off of that. Martin and I were going over some stats that he had heard from a podcast earlier, and there's a 50% turnover in these communities. How do you guys manage the in and out and with the relationships with the residents and all of that as there is a lot of turnover in and out, or are you not seeing that at Sierra Woods?
So, resident experience is the number one thing that we focus on. And that drives who's coming in, and that drives, if they decide to move out or leave. And so, what we want to do is make sure that experience is met from the very first time that they come through the door. That experience is met through all of the staff, and the staff are able to provide that experience because they're getting it themselves. So making sure that the staff needs are met, that we're recognizing them, we're appreciating them, we're treating them also like this is their home. They're choosing to work here. And we're so grateful that they've chosen Sierra Winds to spend their time at. That gratitude, it comes from the top and it makes an impact all the way down. Of a building that it's full is full because the residents are so happy here that they cannot help but tell every single person they know about Sierra Winds. And that's what we want. That's what the culture, that we're looking for to create.
Landon, I have actually visited Sierra Winds. Kimberly was so graciously to give me a tour a few months ago back, I believe in October. Been about an hour and a half, 2 hours reviewing all of the amenities and just kind of looking at the apartments, looking at the benefits. And Kimberly and Jenna they're new to this podcast, but this is a real estate podcast, right? So our past guests have been appraisers, loan officers, other agents or brokers who bring a different point of view or aspect of their business where they specialize in a certain specific model in their business. And us as senior real estate specialists, one of our missions is to bring hope. That's just it. So I really enjoyed my visit with Sierra Winds. I would like to continue to make sure that our staff keeps pitching it out there just because it is a place to bring hope. It just is. You and I go on listing appointments all the time where it's just too late. You asked a question earlier. Client would say, well, why didn't you do this earlier? They wish you would have done it earlier. That's really kind of the job, I think, when you have a partnership like the Sears Group or other brokerages that work with independent living. We're the ones with the boots on the ground that we need to help out and enhance these communities to show people. A quick stat, maybe you can correct me on this, Jen or Kim. Check this out. 50% of real estate owned in the nation is owned by boomers. Did you know that? That's fascinating.
That is, yes.
So, to enhance your real estate career for those agents who are listening out there, who are hustling, if 50% of the nation's real estate is owned by boomers, you think that from a lead generation's perspective, also to bring hope and help out the community, is to try to pitch communities like Sierra Winds and get them in contact with professionals like Kimberly and Jenna. It's only going to help your referral business and you're going to do a good deed. It just is a good feeling. It's a good way to make a living.
Yeah, Martin, and I love that because since you did come and we did the tour, and again, coming back, my background being real estate, when I came in and I looked, I'm like, well, we pay referral fees to companies like A Place for Mom or things like that, where, people will be vetted and, they'll bring them here. And I started thinking, well, why can't we give an incentive to realtors? Because a lot of times I actually just had a conversation with a gentleman who does a lot of reverse mortgages. And and I know that we're kind of coming from a different angle, but I said, isn't both of us have the same goal for the betterment of that individual? And, I'm going to come from a daughter perspective, from having a parent going, is it always going to be the best thing to have mom go live in a different house alone and deal with the pool or deal with the landscaping or deal with whatever, or just being isolated? Is that always going to be the best route? So as Jenna and I spoke and the leadership, I'm grateful because now that they have extended where we can now give referral fees to realtors if we get somebody who does move in and if we get a contract signed. And I wanted to give that incentive because I believe in where I'm at. I believe in our community. I believe in our mission. And I want you to believe in it too. But also, I think having that incentive as well to stop and go, should this person be living alone? This morning, before we had this podcast, I was downstairs in one of the restaurants and I was talking to one of the residents. I was going to say my favorite one, but they're all my favorite. So we had the conversation where I know that when she moved in, she had told me a story that she had moved in and it was her husband who wanted to be here. She really kind of pulled back. She was like, I don't really want to give up my house. I love my home. I love having the garage right there. I love having my own home. And her husband convinced her and they moved in. Well, I'm not sure how much longer, but a while longer, he unexpectedly passed away. And during our conversation, she had told me this a while back. She said, I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad that I wasn't at home when that happened and tried to go through all of that with the emotions as well.
My grandfather passed away earlier this year, and so my grandma was going through the similar situation, and she moved in with her sister, and just being alone was hurting her heart, right? And hurting her life moving forward. And then now she'll text me, a picture with her best friend Alma or her sister Helen, and they're out doing something in the town, and having a good time. But just being able to see her actually live her life, and it's a little bit different in what she's doing, but she moved in to get a sense of community. They need that sense of community, whether they know it or not, really.
Those who are thinking about going to independent living, it's really a mindset. It's designed really to enhance rather than replace. So when that mindset comes to mind, it makes sense. It just does. You'll meet new friends. You'll have a better quality of life. I truly believe that.
Well, and to piggyback on that, Martin, is we want people to be able to age in place with a peace of mind. We are a nonprofit and there's a lot of benefits that come to that. I was able to go and tour other communities, and some of the other communities, they might have different buildings or might have different things. But when I came back here, we're under one roof. And the part that I really value and I cherish about that is it fosters the relationships. It fosters building those relationships quicker because you don't have that space for that gap for people to fall in the gap. We all can easily fall into isolation, especially the elderly. I think for us, we want them to be able to feel that they're living better. And that's the essence of our mission.
That's right. No, I agree 100%. If Jenna and Kimberly, if you could break this down, just because everyone's listeners and those who are, my mother's 83, and just those who may be thinking about independent living for their loved ones, are there specific categories or something you would like to say to the audience? Because not everyone's situation is the same, right? Just because someone's in their mid 80s or late 70s, their mobile status, their bandwidth, just family, doctor's appointments, and things of that nature. So, are there 3 or 4 categories that you would like to explain how independent living at Sierra Winds separates from others, or just what kind of the generalization of what everyone should be looking for when they're shopping for independent living?
So, I think Kimberly mentioned Sierra Winds is incredibly unique that no matter where you go on that entire campus, it's connected. So the residents do feel like they're not siloed or separated from each other. They can easily go from one side to the other side, to our health center, to in the future assisted living, to all of our different restaurants that we have without having to go outside. So that is something that is incredibly unique to our community, I would say. Kimberly talked about aging in place. We have put significant programs in place to help our residents remain where they're at in independent living. So one of those is, having a wellness program with a fitness instructor that they can go to fitness group classes in the afternoon, or they can get individual fitness one-on-one training classes in that same day. Also, we have an on-site primary care physician clinic here that not only provides that service, but they also provide urgent care services. So if the resident wakes up one day and they're just not feeling well, they don't have to go outside. They don't have to go to urgent care and sit for 5 hours to be told here is antibiotics. Go. All of that is here. The safe place for them is to get these services here as well.
And what about transportation? And that's awesome that it's there, right? That they don't have to leave. But what about transportation when they do want to go out, if they want to go somewhere or if they need to go to an appointment? How does transportation work for them?
Love this. I'm just going to say one thing. Like, there's a gal that I love. I told you I love them all, but this other gal that I really love. I see her downstairs a lot, and I don't know how I always run into her when she's waiting for the van So we have a van that will go, was it 10 miles radius? And if it's further than that, then we will make sure they get like an Uber. But she will be waiting down there. I'm like, where are you going? She's like, I'm going to go get my nails done. And I happen to always find her when she's getting her pedicure, her nails, or to go to an appointment. It's not just to go to the doctor's appointment, it's to go out and do the things.
So the van is going around, it's weekly, it's daily, or there's certain times, certain days.
Well, it's not even certain. No, it's like they just reserve it. Like they go down, they let them know like 24 hours ahead if they can. And they let them know, hey, I've got an appointment tomorrow and this is when I need my ride.
That's great. Not everything is doom and gloom, right? Just because we're talking about independent living, it's like Kim said, it's designed to enhance rather than to replace. So it doesn't have to be a doctor's appointment. We shouldn't have that stereotype. It could be going to play putt-putt golf. It could be going to go shopping, get your nails done, get your hair done, go play bingo, go to the casino, go bowling, go play tennis. What?
Yeah.
This
And I think, after hearing all of this and what Sierra Winds have to offer, independent really, really gives back, contrary to what some may believe that it takes away.
absolutely. And let me just, kind of explain because I know that Martin, I know that you saw firsthand, but they have apartments. They're full in apartments. They're from 900 square feet up to 1,400 square feet. We have two 1-bedrooms. We have 4 2-bedrooms, and all the 2-bedrooms do have 2 bathrooms. It's very important to people. I'm finding out, very important. And they have huge patios with storage, everything. I mean, luxury vinyl flooring, everything is, top notch when they move in. Stainless steel appliances, everything is new. It's their home. It really is. It's when you said doom and glooms, not at all. My mom was a charge nurse of an assisted living home. So before I came here, I had to get that stigma out of my mind. And it was a lot like what she had, moved to in Washington. But when I met with Jenna the first time, I'm going to tell a little something on Jenna for a second. She has a little fanatic to her about Disneyland. Loves it. Love. And during our interview, she said something to me that I still carry with me every day. She said, our goal as the employees here is to give them a Disney experience, which is the furthest thing from doom and gloom. And so I went home that day and I had to Google, and I encourage you guys to Google, what is a Disney experience? And so as staff, that is our expectation, to give them that experience when they are living here.
Well, Kymberlee, I didn't know you remembered that. That's so sweet. Yeah, it's an obsession more than a side thing. A Disney obsession for sure.
Just from me visiting, I've actually been there twice. The location is ideal for if you're a West Valley individual like we are. It's ideal. I mean, you can get anywhere you would like within 5-10 minutes in the entire West Valley. I mean, you could be in Arrowhead, you can be in Glendale, you can be in Goodyear, 20 minutes. I mean, it really is. It's right on the hub of 101 to 303 Northern Parkway kind of corridor. Minutes to I-17 as well. So the location is ideal for visitors or just to experience the valley.
But with that too, Martin, is we're tucked away. So a lot of people don't even realize we're here, which the great part about that is that there's that safety feeling, because some people are like, oh, we're by some of that the busy things, but we're tucked away enough that we're in a really sweet spot.
We're close to Bell Road, but tucked away enough to not be on Bell Road.
All right. Before we wrap up, I want to do a quick this or that. We do this at the end of all our episodes. And to our listeners who listened to the last episode, I know that we slipped that segment. We had a long interview on that all in one loan. But anyway, we want to do this or that. So it's your first instinct only. Don't think too much about it. Are you ready?
Oh, I don't know. But go ahead.
It's easy. It's laid back. I promise.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't be too hard. Early riser or a night owl?
Early riser.
Riser.
Okay.
I know Kim's an early riser. I see her. I haven't been to the gym in like a month now, but I see her and her husband at like 5 a.m. I only go to the gym because I can't sleep. Kim is and her husband, I see them at the gym because they're working on their fitness. I'm going there just for a pastime so I don't make noise at the house and wake everyone up.
Martin is one of the few that gets to see me without makeup. So, yep, I'm up at 4, at the gym at 5, and out the door at 7.
I'd say early riser. I would probably go night owl. So being on the go or having a flexible, slow day?
I
Uh,
mean, just to keep up with my mind.
like
My husband says in the pool, I can't even relax.
I'm more of a, flexible and slow. Try to, enjoy the things that are happening around you. My husband is the exact opposite of me. He's like, go, 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 go. And I'm like, when we vacation, can we just put in the itinerary like 15 minutes of just
Right?
nothing?
Yeah, that's my wife. When we go to the beach, she likes to get stuff done. I mean, she wants to go here and there, and that's great. I mean, we get a lot done. I see a lot of things, but I'm tired by the end of that that weekend. I'm ready to just go sit on the beach, right? I thought that's what we went to do. All right, trying something new or sticking with the favorite routine?
New for me.
New.
Hmm.
Yeah. And big community events or smaller, meaningful connections?
Smaller.
Smaller for sure. I like
What
I
about
like
you, Martin?
No, I like to expand. I like to see what else is out there rather than the same old, same old. I get bored really easily.
Jenna, Kymberlee, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time. How can residents find and connect with you if they're interested in hearing more about Sierra Winds?
Yes, of course, they can visit our website directly at searwinds.com. They can also set up a personal call with Kimberly. If they go to our website, then there is a contact us feature that they can click on that would be sent over to our sales team to follow up.
And I'm not there's another salesperson that works with me, Amber, as well. So there's both of us. And then also our Facebook. We're on Facebook. We're on social media.
And you guys want to shout out your address just for those in case someone's listening on the fly, they can just put in their GPS and cruise by.
Oh, of course. Yes, 17300 North 88th Avenue. And that is Peoria, 85382.
Thank
Wonderful.
you.
If you're interested in hearing more about Sierra Winds, please reach out. You can reach out to Jenna, Kymberlee. You can find them on Facebook or their website, or reach out to Martin and myself, and we'd be happy to connect you with either of them. Jenna, Kymberlee, thanks again for your time and sharing such a clear and thoughtful look at Sierra Winds and what it's really about. We appreciate the work you do for the residents and families every day. Martin, as always, I appreciate you. And to everyone listening, thank you for spending part of your day with us. We hope today's conversation brought clarity and maybe even a little peace of mind if senior living is something you or a loved one are navigating. From all of us at Beyond the Sign, the Sears Group, and Sierra Winds, we wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a wonderful holiday season. We'll catch you on the next episode.